Hi there, in this video we're going to be looking at plotting cumulative frequency onto a graph and then also creating a box plot from that information. So the first thing we have to look at is our cumulative frequency table over here. So what we're looking at is the time that Man United scored goals, and cumulative frequency means that we're looking between 0 and 10 minutes, well there are 2 goals, between 0 and 20 minutes, still only 2 goals, so they didn't score any between 10 and 20. From 0 to 30, 6 goals, and from 0 to 40, 10 goals. So it's a running total of the number of goals they've scored up to the 90th minute. We're going to plot this information onto this graph here. So first of all, we need to start plotting our points. So you'll see that at 0 minutes, they will have definitely scored 0 goals. So that's the first point that we plot in. And that's that point there. Then for other points, up to 10 minutes, they scored 2 goals. So we find 2 on our axis, and that one goes there. After 20 minutes, still only 2 goals. So you can see there that the line will go flat, indicating they didn't score any between 10 and 20. 30 minutes is 6, 40 minutes is 10, and you'll see that I'm plotting them above the point here. If you're familiar with a frequency polygon, you'll know that the point goes in the middle. So this is different to a frequency polygon as to where you plot. Continuing on, we've got 18, 24, the next one is 30, the next one is 38, and then finally when we get up to the 90th minute, they scored 45. Now in order to draw a line through that, it needs to be a smooth line. I'm going to try my best, but I don't necessarily have the right tools for it. For you it'd be a pencil, and you can obviously rub it out as you go. So if we join these up with a smooth line, not bad so far. There's our cumulative frequency curve. From that point, what we're going to do is now we're going to find out how to draw our box plot. So there's our cumulative frequency curve. Now I've got an axis below where I'm going to draw the box plot. There are 5 key bits of information that go onto a box plot. The first of those is the minimum. Now the minimum possible goal time is going to be 0 minutes. And then we're also going to need to have the maximum goal time, and the maximum one is at 90 minutes, unless of course it's Fergie time. So I'm ignoring that for the purposes of this graph. Now what we also need to find is something called the lower quartile, the median and the upper quartile, and we're going to have a look at how we find those, starting with the median. So we've got 45 goals, and what we want to do for the median is look for that middle goal. So in that case, to find the position of the median, we need to do a little calculation, which is the number of bits of data plus 1, and then halve that. So that would give you 46 divided by 2, which is 23. So we're looking for the 23rd bit of data, and to do that we go to our cumulative frequency axis and we find 23. Draw a line across until we get to our curve, and then draw a line down from that point where it hits the curve, telling us that the median time of the goal is 58 minutes. So I'm going to add a line to my box plot at 58 minutes. We now want to find the lower quartile and the upper quartile. In order to do that, it's basically halfway from the median to the top and halfway from the median to the bottom. So we've got, that's the position of our median, and now we're going to find our lower quartile. So the lower quartile, we've got 22 bits of data, And what we want to do is find halfway. So the median is the 23rd bit of data, and there's 22 bits of data below it. So if we take 22, add on 1 and then halve it, so 23 divided by 2, we end up with 11.5. So that's where I want to put my next line, which goes to that point and drops down, telling me that my lower quartile is at 42. So if the lower quartile is 11.5 from the bottom, that means that the upper quartile will be 11.5 from the top. So 45, take away 11.5, so that takes us to 33.5. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Do the same process, across we go, and then we drop it down. And you'll see that that indicates that the upper quartile is at 75. So again, I'm going to put a line in for the lower quartile, which I did earlier, and then the upper quartile. And now we've got the basics of our box plot. Now the box goes between, the box referred to in box plot, goes between the lower quartile and upper quartile, including the median. Sometimes it's called a box and whisker plot, and these are the whiskers. So that's the process for not only constructing a cumulative frequency curve, but also for finding a box plot. I hope this was useful. Please go back and watch it if you need to, or add any comments if you want a bit more clarification. The next stage from this would be to start comparing box plots. So if you did box plots for Man United and Man City, you could compare the time of goal of the two teams. Thank you for listening.